Hey, what's up, boys? This is Moonchild of Dude No Way, and today we slay out with the most consistent Titan build in the game. Let's get it. I wanted to remind you guys that we stream on Twitch every Monday and Tuesday night from 9 p.m. to midnight, and that's the best place to watch me running these kinds of builds live. Monday, November 9th, is the night before the release of Beyond Light, and servers for Destiny 2 are going to be brought offline at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So there will be no Monday night stream this week, and we'll continue our regularly scheduled programming Tuesday evening, and I'll be running the Beyond Light campaign live. So if you're on the fence about buying the DLC, you can come check it out as a sneak preview and decide for yourself whether or not it's worth your money. Spoiler alert though here, boys, it most definitely will be. Today we're running Code of the Juggernaut, which is Bottom Tree Striker, and our exotic weapon is going to be the Ace of Spades hand cannon. Ace of Spades is one of the best hand cannons in all of Destiny 2. It has been since its release back in Forsaken, and aside from the range nerfs back in Shadowkeep that toned down the effective range of hand cannons as a whole, this gun has been sitting pretty in the limelight for several years now, and that certainly isn't going to change when Beyond Light is released. This gun is absolutely loaded with perks. Your radar stays active while aiming down sights, which is essentially a free knucklehead radar for you hunters out there. It has its own version of Kill Clip with Memento Mori. Getting headshots procs the perk Outlaw, which allows you to reload at lightning speed. It even has Firefly, so killing an enemy with a precision shot will cause them to explode, and the catalyst for this weapon buffs the explosion to deal even more damage when Memento Mori is active. I'm telling you dudes, this gun is going to have a nice, firm place in the meta moving into the next DLC. Hand cannons across the board are getting their effective range extended to the levels we saw back in Destiny 1, which means Ace of Spades, because it has a giant range stat, is going to be pushing close to 40 meters before experiencing damage fall off. And what this change is going to allow us to do is dual pulse and auto rifles much easier than we currently can, because we'll be hitting full damage on our headshots from the ranges where these weapons previously dominated. While the time to kill on this weapon is sitting at a nice 0.87 seconds, people who are using auto rifles and pulses need to have more time on target with their shots. So peak shotting these opponents in gunfights is going to force their TTK through the roof because only a few of their rounds from each burst or magazine are going to be dealing damage to you. And if you play your cover well and you're landing your precision shots, Ace is going to come out victorious in a lot of these gunfights. So to succeed, play your angles and don't get caught slipping too far away from cover to make a retreat. Auto rifles are made to punish you for being out of position, and it doesn't matter how much range hand cannons get, autos will still be able to slap you down if you aren't playing smart. For our exotic armor piece, we're going to be using the Synthoceps, with the exotic perk Bionic Enhancements, increased melee lunge range, improved melee and super damage when you're surrounded. And the reason we're using these in the King of Consistency build is because that additional range on your melee seems to affect the melee targeting and gives it a nice bump to how often you punch and it actually connects with a target. Coming from a hunter main myself, I can tell you 100% that punching on a Titan feels better and more consistent than our knives do, especially with Synthoceps equipped. This is going to double down with perks from our subclass that I'll talk about shortly, and while I understand these gloves may not have the destructive power of something like Dune Marchers, it does give you the ability to finish off targets who are low health that you otherwise wouldn't be able to melee. And when you're surrounded by 3 or more enemies, Biotic Enhancements is going to activate and stay on for several seconds, allowing us to punch from nearly full health to death in a single melee, and that's not even including the buff from our subclass that does the exact same thing. When the stars align, you can often snag multi-kills with only your fist, and that will be highlighted a few times in the background gameplay. For this build, I recommend focusing your stat split on both recovery and intellect. Having a very high or max recovery is going to allow you to continue your aggressive playstyle more often, because you won't be waiting around forever for your health to regenerate. And having a high intellect, as well as mods on your Titan mark that give additional super energy, is going to be crucial to getting high kill games. I recommend hands-on, which gives you additional super energy on melee kills, and pump action to do the same thing but with your shotgun. The more supers you can realistically get in a match, the more free kills you can snag if you're playing to its strengths. The reason we're using Code of the Juggernaut is because this subclass has an insanely strong neutral game. The perks work disgustingly well together to create a very aggressive playstyle. Knockout gives you additional melee range and damage for breaking an enemy's shield. Frontal Assault triggers on a charged melee, and not only reloads your currently equipped weapon, but gives you additional stability and weapon damage on top of that. And when you stack Frontal Assault with Memento Mori from Ace of Spades, you're now able to 2-tap Guardians who are low resilience. And even if you can't get the 2-tap off, you're going to be chunking out massive amounts of the enemy health bar with each shot, meaning if your teammates have damaged them at all, there's a good chance you can clean up and confirm the kill with either a single headshot or 2 quick shots, then reload to get the full 6 Memento Mori rounds back. One thing to keep in mind about this build is that when Memento Mori is active, switching weapons will cause you to lose the buff, so you want to be playing to the strengths of Ace of Spades' range and utilizing your shotgun either when you don't have the perk active or when someone is rushing you as a last-ditch effort to stay alive. Having Frontal Assault extends the range of our shotgun by a good bit and can be the reason why we get a 1-bang on someone who's most certainly out of normal shotgun range, and it feels fantastic. The perk Reversal from Code of the Juggernaut gives us health back each time we get a melee kill, and that instant health regeneration doubles down on our ability to play the Slayer role, because we can easily and effectively continue to fight on as long as somewhere along the way we're picking up melee kills. The beautiful thing about Reversal is that it also works using our super. Light attacking a Guardian in our super will confirm the kill and start our health filling back up as we move into the next engagement. The final perk in the subclass, Trample, extends the duration of our super each time we pick up a kill with the light attack, and there's just so much synergy here. Ace of Spades and a shotgun are the perfect weapons to pair with this because of how well everything in this build works together. There are a ton of moving parts, and they all fit perfectly. If you play with an aggressive mindset, you can really take advantage of everything that's happening in real time, and the background footage shows that again and again. If I play my angles and pay attention to the active buffs on the left side of the screen, I'm able to effectively take engagements knowing I have the upper hand in a lot of situations. Making use of 2 different mods that grant additional super energy on both melee and shotgun kills, or whatever special weapon you decide to pair this with, and focusing hard into our intellect stat means we're going to have it up far more often than someone who hasn't kitted themselves out for reduced super cooldown. We're looking at 3 supers a game on the low end, and if you're alive and careful about picking up your teammates' orbs, you can sometimes get twice as many supers as the rest of your team, and it will be absolutely infuriating for your enemy to have to constantly deal with you again and again. When you activate the super, you become the Juggernaut, bitch, and you can very quickly roam the battlefield, plowing your way through enemies with your destructive Shoulder of Doom and Hulk Smash ground pound attack. And just like the Juggernaut, you're harder to stop while wearing the right helmet. For this reason, I recommend swapping to the Eternal Warrior exotic, which gives an overshield when you activate Fist of Havoc. I didn't use it for this match, but if I had, I probably would have lived through the engagement you saw in the gameplay. The overshield from Eternal Warrior is generous, and will save your life a lot more times than you think. When the super ends, simply switch back to the Synthoceps and keep on trucking. This tip is only really relevant for PC and the next-gen consoles, as the menu load times on current-gen consoles make it simply too slow to warrant swapping at all. Beyond its potential effectiveness, it all just feels so good to use. You can feel the power of Ace with Memento Mori active. You can feel the power of the subclass helping you in many, many gunfights. Getting health back on melees, getting increased melee damage from both our exotic armor piece and our subclass, being able to one-punch people from full health to death. Ace's shots feel strong, and ghost bullets are rare, if ever a problem you'll run into. Having Frontal Assault enables us to 2-tap with the hand cannon or absolutely map someone with our aggressive frame shotgun, and it feels amazing. All of the working parts really come together to make a beautifully terrifying enemy to play against, and I absolutely love it. I firmly believe that even as the new subclasses are released, this build will continue to be one of the best combinations for using the power of the light. As fun and amazing as the new stasis abilities look, if utilizing the darkness isn't right up your alley, this combo can be the best way to show everyone that the light prevails. The build is strong, and when all of the moving parts get going at the same time, it can be very difficult to stop. The light subclasses aren't getting tweaked with any new sandbox updates or balance passes, aside from the hunters getting their dodge cooldown nerfed. And everybody and their mom is going to be out here acting like stasis is the new strongest thing in the game. While I doubt we'll be able to move into Beyond Light without feeling like some of the new abilities are overpowered, I'm certain some will be. Championing the light as your source of power is still a viable option, and builds like this show that power in all of its glory. The darkness doesn't have every upper hand. It'll give a ton of versatility with its new fragment system, but the tried and true, well-built subclasses that already existed aren't just going to be left in the dust. For the next few years to come, it's going to be a battle between light and dark in the Crucible, and every time I stomp out one of the new Behemoth Stasis Titans, I'm gonna remind them that the Traveler still has shooters out here, baby. If you enjoyed this content, please remember to leave a like, as it helps the channel grow. Drop a comment down below and tell me what build you feel most consistent using. I wanted to remind you guys once again that we stream on Twitch Monday and Tuesday nights from 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time, and that there will be no Monday night stream this week while the Destiny servers are brought offline for Beyond Light's release. On Tuesday night, we'll be diving into the new story campaign, and I'm pumped to see what exotic is given to us when we finish it on each character. You can expect a Beyond Light build video to be posted next week, and here's to hoping I get the exotics I'm looking for earlier than later. Put your scarf and mittens on, dudes, because it's going to be a long, cold winter out on Europa. The darkness is here! Thank you all very much for watching. I am Moonchild of DudeNoWay, and I will see you in the next video.